Hey, it's Austin Bach bringing you some standard matches here on Magic Online. We're playing on the Magic Online Beta today, where Oath of the Gatewatch just became available ahead of release. It's pre-release weekend at the moment, but I believe last week, the full spoiler came out and they let you access the new cards on the beta, so here we are trying out some of the new format before everyone else gets to. So today we're trying out a Wasteland Strangler deck, which has been around before, sort of a fringe deck in the format before. So if you haven't seen the deck before, you've got like Mardu Woe Reaper, which provides you some exile value for the Strangler. Plus you also have removal like Silk Wrap and Stasis Snare, which exile creatures, which is relevant because you want to be able to process them with the Strangler. But that is actually not the linchpin card of the deck anymore, because now we have Eldrazi Displacer, which, although it's a white card, it requires colorless mana to use, which we'll get to later. But the ability, you can pay 3 mana to exile a creature and then return it to the battlefield tapped. So if you have a creature with an Enter the Battlefield ability, like the Strangler, or the Woe Reaper, or some other cards we'll talk about, you get to reuse their Enter the Battlefield ability. So once you get this down and you untap with it, you can just start reusing all your stuff and get a ton of value. And by that same token, another new card, Thought Not Seer, which is my pick for the best card in the new set. I think it's going to be very, very good in Standard, and we'll see. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of it and a lot of mirror matches with it in the future. So it enters the battlefield, it takes something from their hand, and it exiles it relevantly, so more synergy with the Strangler. And when it leaves the battlefield, they draw a card, which is obviously a downside, but the fact that it's a random card means that even if they kill it right away, you're getting value because you're taking the best card out of their hand, and they're only getting a random card back. And it's just a 4/4, which is huge, so you can apply some serious pressure with it, attack and block pretty well. It's just a very good card. And in combination with the Eldrazi Displacer, obviously this is a creature, so you can only do it at sorcery speed, but with the Displacer you can do it at any time, which includes in their draw step. So in their draw step you can bounce the Thought Not Seer, you can stack the triggers so that they draw the card from the Leaves the Battlefield ability, and then the Enters the Battlefield trigger goes on the stack again. So after they've drawn that card in their draw step, you get to look at their hand again before they get the chance to play anything that they just drew, and take the best card out of their hand again. So once you get this combination of cards down and you have the mana to use it, you can kind of soft lock people out of the game with that combination, which is very powerful. So to round all of this out, we've just got some general good stuff: Hangerback Walker, Gideon, Wingmate Rock, all of which are just very solid. Wingmate Rock in particular, other than being able to win the game on its own. Another combo with the Displacer, just to make an army of birds once you get up to enough mana. The mana base requires some explanation. Even though this is just a black-white deck, it's still kind of like a 3-color deck, because you need the actual colorless mana to use the Displacer or to cast your Thought Not Seer. So you have to do some weird things with the mana base. 4 Caves of Koilos is the most important land, because it provides all 3 quote-unquote colors for your deck: black, white, and colorless. Battlefield Forge, Llanowar Waste, tap for white or black, as well as colorless, so we have just an extra couple copies of those. Crumbling Vestige is very strong because it has the potential to make all 3 types of mana you're looking for. Corrupted Crossroads, same sort of thing. And then just a collection of lands that we've seen before, like some fetches, some battle lands, some shambling vents, and some basics. Pretty straightforward. The sideboard is not a whole lot super innovative. Erishan Cleric, good against aggressive decks, also good with the Displacer. Hallowed Moonlight for rally decks. And, the other cards, you can pretty much guess where these cards are coming in. I'm not sure. Obviously, it's a very rough draft, so I'm not sure if all the ratios are correct and all that, but that's why we're testing. We're going to run it through some matches today and see how it goes.